What's up, guys? Dan Man has returned. So today, go Muffin. We're going over a couple new things. I wanted to give an account update, kind of just going over my account, where things stand currently. And then after that, I'm going to be going over all of the comments section, going over all of your questions, your just comments, feedback. Kind of want to go through each thing. I figure this might be like a new thing that I'll start doing a video each week, going through the comments, answering as many questions as I can. I'm going to be providing pictures and builds and updates, pretty much anything you guys throw out there in the comments section. So if you want to have some answers, this is the place to be. Check out the rest of the video, and then moving forward, just throw your comments in the comments section, and then you can expect that I'll be giving you guys some answers in the comments section as well, but you can also look forward to seeing your questions answered in a video. Figure that's a fun way to do it. If you guys don't like that idea, throw that down in the comments section, or if you don't want your question highlighted, just be like, hey, I'm a secret ninja, don't put me in there. We'll do something like that effect. A lot of stuff going on, so bear with me, but we're jumping into BlueStacks. So I don't play the game primarily on BlueStacks. These servers, it's been a little buggy and laggy, so BlueStacks doesn't handle amazing for me. My frames per second is pretty decent. Like, I'm jumping between, well, not great, but like 20 frames per second is pretty much standard for my BlueStacks run. But that's on like the highest graphics. Like, I could load these graphics a little lower and then be a little higher on frames, but I'm trying to at least make it decent for the video. So where do we stand on the account? Right now we're level 65. We're waiting for, I think it's about 4 more hours. Let's just double check. I want to see where we're at. So we have about 4 hours and 30 minutes until the next stage of the mainline quests that we can push, and then we'll be getting artifacts, so that's a nice power buff. I'm currently at 95,000 power. I'm working on all of my skills to level 60. If you notice, I'm keeping these at 30 and then going 60. I accidentally got this one to 61. So let's fix that real quick. Yeah, you just need them at level 60. That gets you the next stat boost bonus. So you stop at level 30, go to level 60, level 90, etc. So that's kind of the progression game plan there. What did I have here to upgrade? I think this was actually already caught up. Yeah, it was. Boom. Stats. Must have pulled a new necklace. Yes, it did. Just keeping an eye. This one's a little better. Okay. Upgrading my necklace. Yeah, I'm kind of toying around with the wardrobe. I don't invest in any of the pay-to-win cosmetics. But hey, 96k. Sweet. My Melamon are doing pretty good. Ended up with Snow Leopard, Thunder, Demon Hound, and got a random Crackamon in there. But I am working on getting Smarty. Boom. Smarty will be my next unlock for my third wish for the wish list. That's a work in progress. I'm saving all of my gems for the artifacts. I've been buying, for the moves, I'll end up buying like 3 of these a day. So see, I only buy about 3 for the extra moves. Just 'cause it's 100 gems when you buy 3, so that's not too bad. Good value there. Early in the early game, I did use a lot of gems for getting skills. That's why my skills are pretty advanced. Let me check those out. I'll show you those. So these are my current 2 top builds that I use. My top one, obviously, for heal. It's my healing page. And DPS. I have DPS set to rifts, but that's because they needed me to rift as DPS last time. But yeah, ultimately, for healer, I do the trials, I do the rifts, I do the waves, and I do the events. DPS will mostly be for Dragon or main story. Dragon, you do need a healer. It's just, again, it's always just kind of worked out that I've been the healer. Yeah, that's about it. Like I said, just a quick account update, then we'll jump into all your guys' questions and stuff. Not too much sitting inside the inventory. I like to use as much as possible. I'm not really a saver. I am when it comes to like gems and stuff like that. Looking forward to doing level 65 rifts, the R5s. That'll be fun. Yeah, let's go look at trials. So trials. Boom, Beast Under the Sea. How many people did finish this? We ended up coming in second, and there was a bug. Like, I'm not going to be, it was upsetting in the moment, but not too worried about it now. Where we were actually first place for, this is T4. We actually did finish before them, but it didn't register. Like, I have screenshots. We talked to the moderators about it and everything. I guess when you lag out or you disconnect, and the servers have been so unstable that we disconnected a lot during the raids, that it would not register you on the scorecard, on the rosters. So my team ended up getting first place for T1, first place for T2, first place for T3, and like I said, we should have been first place for T4, but we didn't even realize that it didn't register until we saw a message that like 10 minutes after we finished it, someone else's team had jumped up there and it said that they were first to beat it. So we were very confused, but I guess it shows here. There's a leaderboard rules, and number 2, to ensure fairness in rankings, teams that exhibit the following behavior will not be listed. A member did not inflict any damage in combat. Well, obviously we all did. But here's the rule right here. Number 2. There was a change in team members during the battle. That rule right there just killed it, because with our disconnecting, like a player would drop, then they would come back. But because of that, I guess it deemed it as that they were leaving, so it didn't rank us. So that's unfortunate. But you know what? Hey, we're still on there as number 2. So it's not the end of the world. We did have to run it again. Like, it took like a good 6-7 tries. I'm actually surprised that this many people have beaten it. What are we on? Eight teams. So that's not bad. Yeah, 32 players have actually beaten T4. T4 is very tricky. I mean, if you guys haven't given it a try yet, you'll see. It's a lot of fun. It took us a good 12 tries just to really, get down through the lag. The disconnects and the lag are really torture. But it's definitely doable. It just, yeah, it's got some stress. This is my partner, 131k power. Quite possibly the strongest archer in the game. I haven't seen another one higher than this. But yeah, awesome partner. We've done really well going back and forth on time to keep pushing the stages. Again, we've been ahead of this level cap now for about 10-12 hours. So this is where kind of everyone can kind of catch up. These level caps allow a good amount of the player base to catch up and be able to progress all at the same time. So if you started a little late, or if your accounts are just grinding a little slower than whales, then this lets more of the lower free-to-play players catch up. We still have 4 hours and 23 minutes. Again, looking forward to these artifacts. Artifacts are a huge boost. Like, I'm expecting to go to 130 to 150k myself just from artifacts. So we'll see how that lands, though. It's really going to depend on luck. I only have 8,400 diamonds right now, stars. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. That pretty much covers everything I wanted to show you guys. Yeah. I feel like there's more, but let's get into the questions. So I do want to go over the questions with you guys. Comment section. Here we go. Let's go into that. That's going to be a big part itself. All right. So let's go over the comments in the comment section. So Ruin S66. The only dispel I can see is Purification when used with the Executor passive, but that passive reduces healing by 60% or 50% if you promote it high enough. It might not be the best to use that skill if healing and let another class use theirs unless there is another skill we have that can do it. You are correct. That is the only dispel skill that healers, the Acolytes, have. I'm unsure off the top of my head if later class changes we might unlock a new one. Like I've gone during the beta, they only really accessed us to the class change 1, like where we basically reached level 80, class changed once, and then started pulling for skills. So class change 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I'm not positive. So don't quote me on that one yet. But just to give you like a full breakdown, yes, a healer using a dispel would look like this. This is what your skills would essentially look like. But our damage is already so low that I'd recommend not using a dispel if you can have the other DPS players dispel for you. Purify requires Executor to be able to dispel. So yeah, that's pretty much sums that up. Yeah, it's not optimal for a healer to be the dispeller, but I mean, if you need to in certain scenarios, you know, if you don't know your team that well and you're just in a random group and you want to switch to it, this is how you do it. X. I saw your name on the leaderboard. These tips helped me to do the rifts and trials without any issue as a healer. A question: do you build multiple characters? Is it worth it? So, yes, I have played every class. I have made multiple accounts. There was 2 rounds of betas that I played in. The first round, I made 3 accounts. The second round, I made 3 accounts. During launch, I made 3 accounts. I do only primarily... I progressively learned it's only beneficial really to play on 1. I do use a second class account for the friendship mechanic that's in game. When you make a friend after level 30, then you party with that friend and you level them up. I use my own account for that, so it kind of benefits making a second account once you hit level 30. So this way the account is brand new, level 1. Team it up with your level 30 account and then progress together like that. You'll end up getting a lot of extra rewards. But other than that, you know, there is little benefits here and there to making a second account or multiple accounts, just that you can party with yourself to run rifts, raids. You know, as you've seen, DPS you can run automatically, so it's kind of easier, but it is tricky. You know, I have 6 devices, so it's tricky though, running a tank and a healer and needing to use all the mechanics and timing. Depending on the content that you're trying to push, you know, it's worth it to push your main through some things if you need to, but ideally just focus on your main account. It's less stressful. You know, party with your friends, join a good guild, and you'll have a good time. Jepskun9393. Can you provide the actual place where this is? Talking about trials. It would be helpful to know which one is it rather than saying trial 1, 2, 3. Is this Perilous Trials, Rifts? Thanks. Yes. So it just kind of happened in beta where everyone had started to call Rifts R1, R2, R3, R4, etc. And Trials, meaning the Perilous Trials, became T1, T2, T3, T4. So yes, Perilous Trials is Trials. And I know it's complicated to explain because the Rifts menu says it's in the Trials menu. But yes, Rifts are R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. Trials are Perilous Trials. T1, and they go in order of how you unlock them. That's how you determine, is this T1, is this T2? So Battle in the Ancient Ruins is T1. Then on Siege of the Forest Camp, T2. Reclaim the Treasures, T3, and so forth. That's how that works out. Class tier list, please. So there's only 5 classes. And it's nearly impossible to put them into a tier list because I'm going to give you the perfect example. Anyone that says, oh, Assassin is a better DPS than, you know, whoever. Like, you break it down. the first beta was all free to play. No one could make purchases. It was purely free to play. And the damage difference between all of the classes was so small. Like there's no damage difference. It's really, I can't give you a yes, this DPS class is better, because there is no case scenario there. It's every class is pretty equal. It just depends on if you're wailing out for DPS, if you're going to have higher DPS than the next person. I mean, I could have a scholar class, even though it's the least popular class. You could have a scholar that deals way more damage than everyone else if they've wailed out harder than the other classes. That's literally what it boils down to. So to put it in a tier list, it's not relevant here in this game. There is no tier list for this game. It's irrelevant. And anyone that tries to say it that there is, it's just whale talk. Like literally there's no micromanaging down to a point where it's noticeable. I'll put it that way. Stay in the center. I have a question. And this is by Sesh Dr. Cow, 2546. Stay in the center. I have a question. I've noticed the ability to move freely with and without auto on. I've not noticed the ability to move freely with and without auto on. So yeah, you can't really move around automatically. It's not like a, MMORPG where you can just walk around in an open world. But the mechanics during the trials specifically, I'm going to use T4 for the most perfect example. When you're versing Rift 4 or Trial 4 and you're going up against you're on the boat and you're fighting the boss with the 2 arm tentacles, you can move your character from one side of the map to the other, from the left to the right or from the right to the left, by clicking on that arm. Now, I know this was a very common question, like, how do I move? That's crazy. I didn't know you could move. Yes, you can move your character and position them. And in T4 specifically, you need to learn this, that you have to move your character into certain positions. Specifically, the DPS, if you're moving and your range DPS trying to avoid the tank, you have to move. The tank, more specifically, is in charge of moving. You have to move, or else you will not pass the stage. So it's, in essence, just clicking on the other side of the map, the ad that you're fighting, will move your character. You'll see this mostly with melee characters. That's why I say the tank, because you have to be up close to them. So if you click on the right tentacle, you're going to run to that right tentacle. If you click on the left tentacle, you're going to move to the left tentacle. If you want to stay in the center while still continuing to move, so say that you start on the right side, click the left tentacle, you'll see your character start to move, and then as soon as you're lined up in the center, just click on the boss, your character will stop. That is how you stop yourself into the center. So it's movement, but it's movement like that. Jack Napier 9203. Hello, my good sir. May I ask if you have data on Melamon moves on every class? Which is good stat for what class? Determination, accuracy, mastery, etc. I'm fairly new to the game, and I'm curious what to build stat-wise. Thank you. Great question. So I plan to put out, I'm actually already have started working on it, getting a lot of the pictures together. After level 80, and you go through a class change, you're actually going to be able to upgrade your pets, and you're going to evolve them. So I plan to put out a future video for pets in general, just a bigger guide specifically for pets, giving each class their own breakdown for best pets to use, showing pictures of the evolved states, like what everyone looks like. I know if you did look at my tank trial guide in the beginning, I did give you a more thorough breakdown for pets, specifically for the tank. And that's mostly because they were just the number one that I was working around with pets. I didn't follow that up on the other guides, but again, I do plan to put out a more thorough pet guide overall. Talent guide? Question mark? I'm Ron Burgundy. So yeah, talents. I don't like people just putting out, oh, talents go all the way to the left, talents go all the way to the right, talents pick this talent, pick that talent. The way I like to do my own talents, and the way I've tried to teach people how to do their talents, is look for the stats that you're missing. Like essentially the healers, it's pretty easy for an acolyte because you're looking more at the haste abilities. You're looking at your speed ups for your abilities. But for other classes, etc., look for what stats you're missing. Is your character lacking on crit, then get every node that says crit. Look through your talents, and more specifically, look to what your build needs and go for there with your talents. Your talents are a great source of extra stats. That's how you want to look at it. You can gain extra stats from your talents that you're missing in your build. So just read your talents carefully as to what points you're putting in to pick up the points that you need. That's the best way to do it. It's really hard for me to say. I mean, I could give you black and white staples of what people recommend as talents, but like I said, even for myself, I go through the talent meticulously and I find the stats that I need for my character. A good baseline is you want to reach 32% crit, 102% accuracy. Those are the two best baselines that I'll give you, just off the top of my head. Hey, can I use these skills in Dragon as well, or is it different rotation? So, it's a good question. DFYN NIST Max 8716. So, any of these builds that I've given you, like for the trials, they do work in Dragon, but there is a more optimal build for sure. I plan again to put out another guide in the future for dragons and events, because there is a new dragon that unlocks ever so often. There's multiple dragons, so what works best for this first dragon isn't necessarily going to work best for the second dragon, etc. So stay tuned for that. I'll be putting out more of an events build for each class, dragon specifically. Yeah, stay tuned. That's going to be a fun video. I got OTK by Golem Punch. How to survive that. Fangguang channel 3558. All right. So if you're getting just one shot while following my guide, like make sure that you're, if you're just still not surviving attacks after using the abilities that I tell you, if your healer's not, your healer, you feel pretty confident is doing their job, it's just you're still getting one shot, you're just not strong enough. And that's just point blank the truth. You need to keep working on your stats. A free-to-play is going to have hard time. If you just reach the level to unlock a rift, you're going to struggle. You need to level up a little bit, sometimes even over-level the dungeon or the rift that you want to beat before you'll be able to beat it. That's basically, in a nutshell, what I can tell you. Just keep working on your account. You'll get there. Did I skip one? No. Any chance you got an assassin to a second class yet, or a guide towards that? Or is there a reason why you say level 1 through 80? So yes, I did reach class change on every account. So I do have a lot of footage and like information on all of the builds and etc. and things that I've tested personally. So yes, all of these trial guides, they are trial 1 through 5. All of the rift guides that I've put out, rift 1 through 5, that is essentially for under level 80. You do unlock like T6, R6 once you reach the class change. So everything is just relevant right now for 1 through 80. After 1 through 80, I already have plans to put out rifts 6 through 10, trials 6 through 10 with new builds, new pets, new upgrades. So stay tuned for that. Have you tried all classes? Do you know which one is worth going for DPS? So I've kind of already answered this twice. Yes, I've tried all classes. Do you know which one is worth going for DPS? Sure, all of them. Whatever one you basically think looks the coolest, whichever one fits your personality, go with what you're going to have fun with. That's basically the best advice anyone could give you. If anyone tells you otherwise, they're just biased towards that class. Pick a fun one. Pick which one you think looks the best, that you're going to enjoy playing and investing time and effort into. What's an interrupt skill? I can't see it. The Descendant X. What's an interrupt skill? I can't see it. So, here at the channel of Dan Man Real, we are not, about shunning people, but I have to assume you either are playing the game Bird Box, or you fall into this category where you just have a disability, and I'm not shaming anyone, you know what I mean? But if these aren't the case scenarios, then I just have to assume that your brain.exe has stopped working. So I'm here to tell you that I'm here to show you the way. Ultimately, every skill that you have in the game has a description. So if you read, this is for your skills description, there is a part here will specifically say interrupt, And then if you read the description, you can actually click this little magnifying glass right here. It'll make it larger so you could read a little bit more. But everything that you play in this game has a description. So, you know, that's the best I could tell you guys. There is interrupt skills for every class. We'll get there. All right, so you're in my server. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of feedback from you guys in game, like, hey, thanks for the videos, awesome stuff. I always appreciate seeing stuff like this, or seeing you guys in game throwing me messages and stuff. It's pretty cool. Yo, this saddened me. So there's no comment. 2.3 thousand views, right? 20 likes. I'll give you that. If I see one like, I'm happy. So 20 likes, cool for the scholars mage. But scholars get no credit. Like, it's just someone at one point said scholars are terrible. They do really bad. It's because nobody wants to invest into them. It's the whales are all playing assassins or archers. That's the bottom line. Like, if you think about it, who's going to pick a mage over an assassin or an archer? People that don't play mages in games are picking assassins and archers. That's all it is. They're all the same. They're all the same kind of DPS. Yeah, I wish there was more mages just in general. I mean, I enjoyed playing my mage. And when you guys see, like, the later class changes, mages look badass. Like, there's a tornado skill that the mage comes out with. It's just nasty. Like, it's nuts. And there is rumor that, like, later on, the higher class changes, they have had to nerf certain abilities because they are stronger. And mage is one of them. At the higher class changes, class change 6 specifically, you know, there's the tornado skill that you unlock. It's insane. So, and maybe they released that because, you know, scholars were getting so much slack. But I'd like to see some more scholars being played. It'd be great to see. And like I said, they're all very equal in power. It's just more of, what do you find more entertaining? In T3, we can't get past the mini-boss. Can you give any tips? Denny Ideza, 4479. Yeah, best tip is just get a little bit stronger. Your tank just needs a little bit more defense. Your healer just needs to be using the correct skills, time them correctly. And if you guys are just a little bit too weak, it's just a little bit of matter of time. Work on your stats. You'll get there. Trust me. Some of these, like I said, if you are just hitting the level cap to unlock these rifts or these trials, they're hard. If you give it a couple days and you over level yourself through them, they'll be easy. It's easier. It's the best way to put it. I'm undecided between tank or healer. I get this one a lot. So it really boils down to your playstyle. It's kind of the same mentality of DPS where being a tank, do you want to be big brute guy or female? Just, you know, lady tank and just be the brute of the team? Or do you want to be the healer where everyone's going to be depending on you for heals and staying alive? Both roles are very important. It really boils down to personal choice. Which spot do you feel like? This is like a mental question of where are you at in your mind? Are you the brute? Are you the healer? The supporter? Yeah, that's the best thing I can tell you guys. It's just like DPS. Which class do you prefer? Which shiny do you like? Is there any difference between main pet and support pet? If there is difference, which one will be my main pet? Again, I plan to put out a very thorough guide for pets, so stay tuned for that. I'm getting a lot of requests and feedback for pets, so I'm planning to make that one very polished. It's going to be released closer to when we are all hitting class change 1, when pets are going to be upgraded. Maybe I'll put it out the same day. Still a work in progress, but just to try to give you a direction here with your question. So is there any difference between main pet and support pet? Yes, your main pet is what is going to be benefiting from the skills that you put on the main pet's bar. Everything that you put on your second pet, it does not reflect onto your main pet. So the best way I'm trying to explain that is your pet's skills. So the active skill that you get, or the passive skills, not the moves. Don't be confused by moves, because the moves, all of those stats, no matter which pet you're putting them on, that's, you know, of your main pet or your sub pet, those moves stats will stack, and they do add up to benefit your main account. But the skills specifically, I should have took pictures of those. My apologies. Again, I will go into pets more detailed in the pet guide, but I'm just trying to give you a guideline here that those skills are activated only on your main pet. Best way to put it. Stay tuned for the pet guide. I guarantee you a lot more people will love that. Oh, thank you for the guide, Batman. This is literally, this was my face when I saw this comment. So now you guys are all experiencing this with me. Here we go. Batman. Thank you. Nice video. Thank you. Thank you. Love your video. Thank you. 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 Thank you guys. You guys, this has been a blast. Stay tuned for more Go-Go Muffin videos. Like I said, I have a whole bunch of plans for the future. It's going to be tons of fun. Appreciate you all. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. Channel's blowing up. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm going to be putting out like a random 500 subscribers video here soon because I'm only like 10 away. So that's pretty awesome. Again, appreciate y'all. Hope you guys have a good day. Have fun. Take care.